Bandits attack Kaduna community, kill 6 persons. Adamawa state government extends school holiday over measles outbreak. Kano's inquiry commission on political violence begins sitting. And on the foreign scene, Kenya flood death tolls tops 200. Welcome to News Updates on Trust TV. My name is Lilian Ogazi. And now to the news. Bandits Sunday night killed 6 persons after an attack on Ambe community in Sanga local government area, Kaduna State. The spokesman of the Kaduna State Police Command, Mansur Hassan, who confirmed the incident, said one suspect has been arrested in connection with the attack. According to Hassan, police operatives from Sanga Divisional Police Station and troops of Operation Safe Haven, upon getting a distress call, rushed to the community and engaged the bandits in a gun duel, during which one of the bandits was arrested while the rest escaped into the forest with bullet wounds. Meanwhile, the member representing Jema Asanga Federal Constituency, Daniel Amos, said in a statement 6 people were killed in the attack while 8 others sustained injuries and are receiving medical treatment at the hospital. While condemning the latest attack aimed at destabilizing the peace and security in his constituency, the federal lawmaker called on all residents of Sanga local government area to remain calm and peaceful as they work towards finding a lasting solution to the insecurity in the area. Meanwhile, the State Services DSS has arraigned one Jamilu Ibrahim, a native of Zurumi local government area of Zamfara State, before a federal high court Kano for being in possession of 832 rounds of live ammunition and 4 rocket-propelled grenade charges, contrary to the provisions of Firearms Act and Terrorism Prevention Act. The suspect, who was arrested in Gano village of Warawa local government area of Kano State, is also accused of supplying weapons to bandits in Jibia local government area of Katsina State. The suspect pleaded not guilty to all the charges read out to him in court. His lawyer, Murtala Isa, asked the court to grant the suspect bail pursuant to the provision of Section 158 and 162 of Administration of Criminal Justice Act, ACJA 2015. However, prosecution counsel Hassan Habib Hassan objected the bail application, arguing that by nature of the offense and the charges against the suspect, the respondent may drop bail to evade trial if granted bail. Justice Abdullahi Mohammed Liman refused to grant bail application and instead ordered accelerated hearing in the matter. In the meantime, a woman, Jamila Shuaibu Amriyahu, a native of Baranan village of Zurumi local government area of Zamfara State, has opened her defense before Justice Muhammad Yunusa of the Federal High Court. She was arrested in June 2023 for being in possession of live ammunition and 3 RPG launchers near Police Academy, Wudil. Justice Yunusa fixed June 24th for adoption of final written addresses in the case. The Adamawa state government has ordered the immediate closure of all public and private schools following the outbreak of measles in the region. The decision was announced on Monday, aims to mitigate the spread of the disease and enable the State Primary Healthcare Development Agency to vaccinate the vulnerable age group. Now, in a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education and Human Capital Development, Aisha Umar, the ministry rescheduled the school resumption dates to Monday, May 13, 2024. The statement further directed all public and private schools to comply with the directive, since the outbreak has already claimed the lives of 42 children in the state. The government says it is taking the necessary measures to contain the disease and prevent further casualties. Now moving on to Kano, where the Commission of Inquiry set up by the state government to probe cases of alleged political violence and missing persons from 2015 to 2023 on Monday began sitting. At the inaugural sitting, the Commission chairperson, Justice Zuwaria Yusuf, called on civil society organizations as well as victims and relatives of victims of political violence and missing persons to submit memoranda or petitions. She urged the public and the media in particular to give the Commission the maximum support while affirming that the Commission will discharge its assigned mandate diligently without fear or ill will. The Commission chairman said the Commission will also investigate the rampant cases of missing persons and to make recommendations for an enduring solution to the issues of politically motivated violence and missing children.
I would also like to further assure the people of Kano State that this Commission will discharge its assigned mandate diligently, fairly, dispassionately, and without fear or ill will. The terms of reference of the commissions are as follows: to find out the root causes of political and other forms of violence in Kano State, to identify areas where violence associated with the 2015, 2019, and the 2023 general elections occurred in Kano State, to identify sponsors and perpetrators of political and other forms of violence during and in between elections in Kano State, or to identify all missing persons in the state and determine the circumstances as well as the immediate and remote causes of their missing. 5, to identify victims of all forms of violence, including politically motivated, state-sponsored, etc., associated with the 2015, 2019 and the 2023 general elections.
Still in Kano, an appeal division of the Kano State High Court has commenced hearing on the case of Sheikh Abdul Jabbar Nasiru Kabara, who was sentenced to death by hanging by the Upper Sharia Court, Kofar Kudu. Abdul Jabbar was found guilty of defaming the personality of Prophet Muhammad by Justice Ibrahim Sadki Yola. When the case came up on Monday for mention, the counsel for the appellant, Sadiq Yusuf, informed the court of his readiness for the hearing, but counsel for the Kano State government, Bashir Saleh, sought an adjournment, saying he was not ready. Counsel for the appellant then requested a 20 million naira cost against the respondent for wasting the appellant's time. However, counsel for the respondent objected the request, stating that they were serving with the court process in March and not February, as claimed by the appellant's counsel. Consequently, the request for cost was withdrawn by the counsel for the appellant, and the case was adjourned to May 9, 2024 for hearing. A fire outbreak has destroyed some sections of the Mundubawa country home of Kano State former Governor Ibrahim Shekarau, destroying valuables worth millions of naira. It was gathered that the fire was suspected to have emanated from the kitchen, spreading into another part of the building. The incident occurred Sunday evening as it took the effort of the operatives of the State Fire Service, who brought the fire under control. Confirming the incident, the Public Relations Officer of the State Fire Service Command, Saminu Yusuf Abdullahi, said the incident has destroyed many parts of the house. He said 2 rooms, 2 kitchens, 2 sitting rooms, 2 stores, a sitting room, a central sitting room, a corridor and toilets have all been destroyed by the fire. The governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, has called on the Nigerian media to hold public office holders and the society at large accountable in order to achieve good governance. The governor stated this is an event to commemorate this year's World Press Freedom Day. Also present at the event was the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who reaffirmed the government's commitment to safeguarding press freedom, promoting diverse opinions, and protecting the rights of journalists. The national president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Christopher Izugo, called on governments at all levels to support journalists in their quest to bring about good governance in the society.
We all have a role to play in democracy. And democracy must be fought for. Democracy must be defended. Good governance is a very simple way of defending democracy. I remain indebted to this organization and to all people of goodwill out there who are at the tenet and different platforms of defending democracy.
Democracy can never thrive without free press. So even when
political leaders tell you that they want to ensure that there's press freedom, it is important for you to remind us all the time that indeed the press needs to be free so that everyone will enjoy the dividends of democracy.
In every corner of our nation, journalists are unsung heroes, the torchbearers of truth and freedom. Tonight, as we gather to honor the brave men and women who have dedicated their lives to the pursuit of truth, justice, and freedom, is an opportunity for us to reaffirm our commitment to press freedom and good governance.
I strongly believe that for a vibrant, and free press to thrive in any nation, including our country, Nigeria, there is the need for an enabling legal environment and efficient judicial system. This realization underpins the commitment of the 10th Assembly House of Representatives to the review of moribund media laws in order to bring them in tandem with modern realities and democratic ethos and principles.
Now moving on to River State, where the political face-off between Governor Similaye Fubara and the River State House of Assembly is showing no signs of reprieve as the House is tackling the governor over the state's public procurement law. At plenary on Monday, the Speaker of the House, Martin Amewule, accused the governor of financial irresponsibility and recklessness in the way he spent money without appropriation. One of the items on the agenda for the day's sitting was the governor's handling of state finances, which the Speaker condemned. Deputy Speaker Dumle Maulio asked his colleagues to veto the governor on the State Public Procurement Amendment Bill. Of particular concern was the issue of the Emwaha local government, where the staff are yet to be paid their March salary. With the banging of the gavel, the Speaker signaled the passage of the second reading of the River State Public Procurement Amendment Bill 2024. The latest veto is coming on the heels of 5 previous vetoes, during which the Assembly has overrode the governor to enact laws. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, Blessing Abekpaku, on Monday suspended 3 lawmakers over an alleged plot to impeach him and other principal officers of the Assembly. One of the suspended lawmakers, Donald Okogbe of the PDP, who represents Akoko Edo II, is an ally of the impeached Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, and was the only lawmaker who did not sign the petition that led to Shaibu's impeachment. The other 2 are Ade Emaku Isbo, APC Esha Northeast 1, and Iyamu Bright, PDP, Oroinwo 2. Abebaku also accused the trio of bringing native doctors to the house on May 1st at around 1 a.m. to perform a sacrifice. Abebaku said the 3 lawmakers were suspended indefinitely for alleging that external forces were influencing them to cause chaos and remove the House leaderships. The suspension of the lawmakers, however, created tension in the House as the affected lawmakers kicked against their suspension. This is News Update coming to you from Trust TV. Coming up, 14 years on, Nigerians celebrate the legacy of late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. More news when we return this day. You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Updates on Trust TV. Let's take a quick recap of our headlines. Bandits attack Kaduna community, kills 6 persons. And Adamawa State government extends school holiday over measles outbreak. And moving on, the federal government has approved a downward review of the electricity tariff for Band A customers from 225 naira kilowatt per hour to 206 naira kilowatt per hour. A public notice by the Ikeja Electric stated that the reduction was contained in the May 2024 supplementary order by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. It added that the tariff for bands B, C, D, and E remains unchanged. Recall that the NERC had in April approved an upward review for Band A customers from 68 naira to 266 naira, a move it called service reflective price to improve liquidity in the electricity sector. The increase made it mandatory for electricity distribution companies to ensure customers under the band get at least 20 hours of power supply daily. Stakeholders in Nigeria's political space on Monday gathered to remember the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, who died on the 5th of May 2011. The ex-Katsina governor, who served as the president of Nigeria from 2007 to 2010 and the 13th head of state, was seen in many quarters as arguably Nigeria's best president to date. It was against this backdrop that stakeholders in Nigeria's political and leadership sphere gathered to reminisce on his legacy and emulative style of leadership. Noel Sampson has more.
Born on the 16th of August 1951, the late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua's governance and leadership qualities were said to be sterling, profound, and legendary. And his administration grew the economy, stabilized the polity, and held Nigerians together seamlessly.
President Yar'Adua was who established the presidential amnesty program for Niger Delta. Hitherto, the creation of this special program, oil production and sales, which accounted for more than 90% of this country's foreign reserve. But let me say that his various such activities, like the amnesty program that he brought about in Niger Delta area, which ensures that at least our economy is being protected.
Well, Yar'Adua was a pious man. He was very pious. He was a listening leader. He had that nature of Aminu Kano. And so he was a man of the people. He was a grassroots person.
So the challenge is for us today as young Nigerians. We must imbibe those values, those characters that late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua represented: integrity, honesty.
They urged Nigerians to shun identity politics and be hopeful that Nigeria will be great again.
The man we are gathered here to celebrate today, the late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, was like a Moses out of the palace of Pharaoh of Egypt. Why do I say so? Yes, he was horned through the same system. But when he became president, he dared to be different. And the results are clearly etched in history. First, as an avowed apostle of rule of law, he made sure that he led this country with the principles of equity, justice, and fairness. And throughout the Fourth Republic, the period between 2007 and 2010 was the most united, most prosperous, and most stable in terms of economics and security matters in the history of the Fourth Republic.
One thing we as Nigerians need to understand, and quickly so, is the fact that we need to make a shift from a number of perceptions we hold on our nation. Some people feel, no, Nigeria can never be alright with ourselves, and the mode of doing business and everything, that corruption is too much. No.
The ex-president, who was the first governor to publicly declare his assets, while his administration saw various developments in the state, which became the 5th northern state to adopt Sharia or Islamic law. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And now away from Nigeria, the death toll in Kenya's devastating flood has risen to at least 228. 72 people are currently reported missing and 164 have been wounded. The government spokesman Isaac Mwara on Sunday said more than 223,000 people have been affected by the floods. Authorities continue to enforce the evacuation order that was issued on May 2nd in Nairobi County. In Nairobi County alone, 163,000 residents have been evacuated from the Ripran areas as the government arranged alternative accommodation. The figure accounts for forcible or voluntary evacuations. Mora insisted that the country remains safe for tourism, even as holidaymakers and staff were evacuated from the Masai Mara National Reserve in southwestern Kenya. last week. And in sports, Jolene Lopetegui has agreed a deal to become West Ham manager at the end of the season. Nothing has been signed yet, but the 57-year-old is close to making a return to management following his departure from Wolves in August last year. Current Hammers boss David Moyes has come under increasing pressure after a poor run of results that has seen his side win one of the past 9 Premier League games in exit. The Europa League in the quarterfinals, West Ham's were trashed 5-0 by Chelsea on Sunday to leave them 9th on the table. Moyes, who is out of contract in the summer, has repeatedly fended off questions about his future at the club, saying talks will not take place until after the final game at Manchester City on 19th May. Former Spain and Real Madrid coach Lopetegui has been linked with numerous jobs since and is thought to be keen on returning to the Premier League after guiding Wolves to safety last term, having joined them when they were bottom of the table. Well, with that, we've come to the end of news updates on Trust TV. Do well to follow us across all our social media platforms for more news, documentaries, and programs. Thanks for watching. My name is Lilian Ogazi.